Hey there, thank you so much for checking out today's recording. And in this particular section, we're going to be going over the 5 common mistakes that I see most wedding business owners actually make when they try to run meta ads on their own. Now, we're actually going to go over these common mistakes, and I'm also going to be giving you guys practical steps, practical actions that you can actually take moving forward. So ensure you stick around to the end of this video. And if you also find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, because that helps with the algorithm a lot. So with that being said, let's move forward. So the first mistake that I see most wedding business owners actually make is boosting posts. You see, when you actually click that boost button, when you actually boost posts, all you're basically doing is donating money to Meta. In most cases, you're basically just giving Meta 50 to 100 bucks, sometimes maybe even lesser. And then you're hoping and you're praying that that your ads actually get shown to the right persons. You're also hoping and praying that those persons, when they see your ad, somehow they do the right thing. They click on your link, or they make a purchase with you, or they book a meeting with you. Now, that is not a marketing strategy. That is only wishful thinking. And also, when you actually boost posts, the actions that you can actually take are very, very limited. You can maybe set something like age range, interest-based targeting, but the actions are very, very limited. So what we actually want to do is to move away from boosting posts. Rather, we want to actually use the ads manager to build full-fledged campaigns. And if you actually know how to use the ads manager to build full-fledged campaigns, I've recorded a complete video that takes you step by step on how you can actually use the ads manager to run full-fledged campaign for your wedding business. So ensure you check that video out. I'll be leaving a link down in the description here below. In that particular video, I take you step by step. I also point out the common pitfalls that you should avoid, and we go in depth on the various things that you should actually know about when using the ads manager to run full-fledged campaigns for your wedding business. So with that being said, let's move on to the next mistake that I see most wedding business owners actually make. So mistake number 2 is targeting cold audience only. So what exactly is cold audience? Now, these are persons who don't actually know you yet. Now, these are persons who are strangers to your business, or more like you actually strangers to them. In other words, they don't actually know that your business or your brand actually exists. Now, those persons, they are definitely not following you on Facebook. They're also not following you on Instagram. They might have not even visited your website yet, neither have they even viewed your profile. And of course, they are not even on your email list. So this person is actually referred to as cold audience. Now, what most wedding business owners actually do is that they see these persons and they think that might actually be a great opportunity. So they run ads targeting these persons. They say, oh, this person is actually there. Of course, they don't know me yet, but they might actually be in need of wedding services, and this is actually a great opportunity. So they run ads targeting these persons. But let me tell you something. Visibility without trust doesn't actually book wedding. You see, visibility without trust doesn't actually book wedding. When was the last time that you actually walked up to a business owner and you just said to them, you can actually have my money now, but I don't actually trust you yet? You see, we rarely do that. We rarely make a purchase that is significant without actually having trust. So trust is a very, very important factor when it comes to marketing. So let's move on to mistake number 3. So the third mistake I see most wedding business owners actually make is using the wrong content when running ads. You see, when actually using content to run ads, the only way you can actually know that a particular content would perform very well is simply if you test it. So the only way you can actually know that a particular content will perform very well if you use that content to run ads is simply if you test it. Not because you think the content is nice, not because you think the content is fancy, not because you've actually put in effort towards creating that content. It's simply if you test it. So you shouldn't be using content based on opinion, rather based on data. So now the ideal way this should actually happen is that, let's say, like on a weekly basis, that you actually posting content on Facebook, you're also posting content on Instagram. Then let's say a particular reel that you actually posted on Instagram performed very well. It actually gained a lot of traction and it gained a lot of engagement organically. Now, based on that data that you have, that this particular content has performed very well organically, you know that if you actually use that same particular content to run ads, it most likely will perform very well. Not because you have that opinion, not because you like the content, but based on the data, based on the empirical fact that you actually have that content has already performed very well organically. So you know that if you actually use this particular content to run ads, to actually perform very well. So that's how it actually should be done in a normal sense. So mistake number 4 that I see most wedding businesses actually make is that they have no clear funnel. They have no clear system to follow up with conversation and also to follow up with the relationship. So you might ask, what exactly is a funnel? See, a funnel, like, this is the journey or the system that's actually put in place that takes a complete stranger from the first time they actually see your business, from the first time they actually hear about you, all the way down to them being a booked couple, or them all the way them to being a book client. So just a recap, the funnel is the complete system or the complete pathway that takes a complete stranger online, all the way down from them seeing your business for the first time, all the way down to them booking a meeting with you, all the way down to them handing over their money to you, saying, I want to actually film my wedding with you and stuff like that. So if you actually think that, just with one post I actually made online, or just with one single ad I actually run online, that an engaged couple is actually going to see your post and they're actually going to pay you 5k or 10k to actually film their wedding for you, you need to actually think again. You understand? You need to actually have a rethink about that strategy, because in the year 2025 and beyond, the market is getting very, very saturated, and trust is also a very, very important factor when it comes to marketing. So what you actually need is a funnel. You need a clear system that takes a complete stranger, a cold audience. You need a system that actually warms them up to become warmer audience by using different touch points in your marketing. So you warm them up to become warmer audience, and all the way down to them being a booked audience, all the way down to them saying, okay, I am ready to actually work with you. Then they hand over their money to you. That's just like an explanation. Hope you understand. So that's basically what you need: a funnel and you need a system. So the last mistake that I see most wedding businesses actually make is that they give up too soon. They start running ads, and after like a week, they look back and they just think that that it's actually been a waste of money without actually looking at the numbers. So what you actually need to do when actually running ads, you need to actually look at the numbers, and you need to actually think differently. You can actually think that meta ads actually don't work, or you can actually think differently and you can actually put the system in place, put sort of like the right system in place. So that's just one thing. Just like when a kid and you actually learn how to ride a bike, you would actually fall down so many times, but then you'd actually get up and you keep learning, and that's where you actually got good at it. So same thing here with actually business. You need to actually be willing to suck at something before you can actually get good at it. You need to actually be willing to actually commit to the process. But anyway, that's why I'm actually here, to actually help you out with stuff like this. So you can actually book a one-on-one call with me, and we'll actually walk through your business and we'll actually see if we're actually a good fit. So with that actually being said, I hope you actually enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.